Julius Caesar's reign was marked by the brutal slaughter of over 4,000 Gauls, a mere fraction of the estimated 1 million people he would eventually kill during his conquests, a grim testament to the ruthless ambition that drove him to become one of history's most infamous leaders. As a master strategist and skilled manipulator, Caesar's ascent to power was facilitated by his ability to inspire loyalty and devotion in his followers, while simultaneously instilling fear and terror in his enemies. His unwavering confidence and unrelenting drive were rooted in a deep-seated narcissism, which would ultimately prove to be both his greatest strength and most debilitating weakness. Caesar's formative years were marked by a complex web of family dynamics and social pressures that would shape his psyche and inform his future actions. Born into the Julian clan, a patrician family with a long history of distinguished service to the Roman Republic, Caesar was acutely aware of the weight of his family's legacy and the expectations that came with it. His early life was characterized by a series of calculated relationships and strategic alliances, as he carefully navigated the treacherous landscape of Roman politics. Caesar's marriage to Cornelia, the daughter of a prominent consul, was a shrewd move that cemented his ties to the Optimates, a powerful faction that would later become his sworn enemy. As Caesar's power and influence grew, so too did his sense of grandiosity and self-importance. He became increasingly obsessed with the idea of his own divinity, often incorporating elements of mythology and theater into his public appearances. This carefully crafted persona was designed to inspire awe and reverence in his followers, while also serving as a thinly veiled warning to his detractors. Caesar's use of psychological manipulation was a hallmark of his leadership style, as he expertly wove a complex web of fear, intimidation, and persuasion to achieve his goals. The Gallic Wars, which lasted from 58 to 51 BCE, were a defining period in Caesar's career, as he honed his military tactics and perfected his use of psychological warfare. The brutal suppression of the Gauls, including the infamous massacre at Alesia, was a stark demonstration of Caesar's willingness to do whatever it took to achieve victory. The propaganda machine that Caesar constructed to promote his conquests was a remarkable feat of psychological engineering, as he carefully crafted a narrative of heroism and selflessness that would be etched into the annals of history. However, beneath the surface of Caesar's triumphant facade, a far more sinister reality was unfolding. His relationships with others were characterized by a profound lack of empathy and a callous disregard for human life. The infamous crossing of the Rubicon, which marked the beginning of Caesar's civil war against Pompey and the Optimates, was a reckless and impulsive decision that would have far-reaching consequences for Rome and its people. Caesar's actions were driven by a deep-seated need for dominance and control, as he sought to impose his will on the world around him. The Ides of March, that fateful day when Caesar's own senators turned against him, was a shocking reminder of the brutal and unforgiving nature of Roman politics. The prophecy of the soothsayer, who warned Caesar to beware the Ides of March, was a haunting portent of the violence and betrayal that would ultimately claim his life. As the assassins closed in around him, Caesar's final words, "Et tu, Brute," and "you, Brutus," were a poignant expression of shock and betrayal, as he realized that even his closest allies had turned against him. In the end, it was not the swords of his enemies that destroyed Caesar, but his own unbridled ambition and insatiable hunger for power. His dark psychology, a toxic mix of narcissism, grandiosity, and ruthlessness, had ultimately led him down a path of destruction and chaos. As the Roman Empire teetered on the brink of collapse, Caesar's legacy would serve as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and the devastating consequences of allowing ambition to consume us. The ghost of Julius Caesar still haunts the corridors of history, a chilling reminder of the horrors that can be unleashed when human nature is left unchecked, and the darkest aspects of our psyche are allowed to reign supreme.